Hey, Julia. So, after some thinking, I've come to the conclusion that you might not be the best fit for my son after all. Therefore, I'd appreciate it if you two could cancel your engagement as soon as possible. Thanks a bunch.
Good morning, Madeline. Is everything okay? It's quite early, so I'm curious what might be troubling you at this hour.
You know, they always say it's not good to keep things that bother you bottled up inside. So I thought I'd shoot you a text bright and early to let you know that I want you two to break up as soon as possible. Just wanted to get that off my chest, you know?
Thank you for being honest with me, I suppose. However, I don't want to call off the engagement, especially not just because you told us to. It would mean a lot to me if you could accept our decision and support our engagement.
Wow, looks like you're determined to keep up with your selfish attitude, huh? Let me tell you, you and Nick are just not meant to be together, especially considering what I've found out recently. No matter what you say, I can guarantee you that I'll make sure you two break up. Mark my words.
What do you mean, from what you've found out recently?
Listen up. I've got all the juicy details about your place of birth and your upbringing. I know all about it, and let me tell you, it's not pretty. You can't hide your past from me, and I'll make sure everyone knows about it. So don't even bother trying to defend yourself. I've got the upper hand, and I'm going to use it to tear you down. Consider yourself warned.
Okay, and what exactly did you learn that was so awful?
Oh, look at that. You attended some obscure little university out in the middle of nowhere. Might as well be a community college, huh? I can't possibly have someone like you, who went to such a subpar institution, married to my esteemed and elite son. It's simply out of the question.
So you're saying the reason you want us to call off our engagement is because of where I went to university?
Well, it's certainly reason enough.
No, it's really not.
Oh, and let me enlighten you about our family status. You see, my husband happens to be a high-ranking lawyer, one of the top individuals in this entire country. And as for my son, Nick, well, he's a Yale graduate, no less, and is currently working in the prestigious position as the head of human resources at a top-tier company. Oh, and did I mention that my second-born son, Dan, is currently studying at Yale as well? It's clear that our family is the pinnacle of success. Now, let's talk about you. A mere graduate from a community college like yourself won't fit in our elite family. You simply don't fit the bill, and it's abundantly clear that you have no place among us.
You're right. I didn't attend a university as prestigious as your son or his brother. But educational background isn't the sole measure of a person's worth.
Only people with poor backgrounds would say something like that.
Well, I thought you already knew this, but Nick and I actually work together at the same company. In fact, we both started working there around the same time. That top-notch company you're so proud of? They hired me too. Also, I happen to work in the same department as Nick. So you see, regardless of where we went to school, I'd say I'm doing pretty well in making my mark.
Don't even entertain the thought of comparing yourself to Nick. Sure, you may work at the same company, but let's be real here. He landed that job because of his exceptional educational background and overall excellence. I highly doubt your qualifications even come close. I bet you resorted to flirting with the interviewers to secure your position. It's clear that your presence there is nothing more than a fluke compared to Nick's genuine achievements and talent.
I would never. How dare you even suggest something like that?
Oh, Julia, let's get real here. We're talking about a top-class, large-scale company, not some amateur operation. There's absolutely no way they would hire someone like you based on your dull credentials. That's probably the reason my exceptional son got involved with a lowly flea like you in the first place. But hey, let's give credit where it's due. That company made a brilliant decision when they brought my son on board. He's an absolute asset. Now, if only they could take some measures to prevent foolish choices like hiring clueless girls such as yourself.
Hold on right there. Take back what you just said.
Which part? I won't take back a single word of it.
First things first, let's clear the air. I absolutely did not flirt with anyone during the hiring process. I went through the necessary steps, aced the test, and nailed the interview. My performance spoke for itself, and I landed the job fair and square. And you know what? I'm thriving in the company. My bosses have nothing but praise for me and my work. So rest assured, I'm doing great and making a positive impression.
I'm absolutely certain that your flirtatious tactics alone helped you to where you are now. Let's not forget that you only landed that position because Nick happens to be the head of the department. It's clear as day that you're receiving special treatment, enjoying all the perks while others have to work twice as hard to earn their place.
You can't be serious.
Oh, look at you, Ms. Nobody from the middle of nowhere, thinking you could actually land a job and hold on to it without resorting to other tactics. It's one thing to play the game during the interview, but it seems like you just can't resist keeping up the act even after getting hired. I'm not as clueless as everyone else around here. I see right through your little charade, and it's not impressing anyone.
I did my best, did my internship, and studied and prepared for my interview just like everyone else. Now I'm just doing my absolute best at my job.
Wow, you're a real piece of work, aren't you? You despicable little girl. I can't believe Nick fell for your cheap tricks in the first place. Oh, and let me burst your bubble while I'm at it. Flirting won't get you anywhere in life. Just wait until that pretty little face of yours starts to wrinkle, and you'll be put right back in your pathetic place. Anyway, do us all a favor and stay away from my son as soon as possible. Trust me, he deserves way better than you.
Hey, hold on a second. Would you just listen to what I have to say?
I don't have any time to listen to a girl who only graduated from what's basically a community college. Oh, and by the way, there's something else I should mention while you're here. After you break up with my son, you should probably go ahead and change to a different department too. I can't have someone from a lowly school like yours anywhere near my precious boy. You're nothing but dead weight, and you'll only bring him down with your pathetic excuses for education.
Just hold on a second and listen to me.
Now, just be a good girl and do as you're told. I can't believe someone like you would try and marry my son. Absolutely absurd.
Julia, I'm so sorry. My mom messaged you earlier this morning, didn't she? She said some really awful stuff to you. I really am so sorry.
She sure did. She looked up my university and was talking about how it was basically the same as going to community college. Then she went on to say that I wasn't the right person for you.
I'm really sorry she said such awful things like that. Even from when I was a kid, she's always been the kind of person to really care about people's backgrounds. I told her to cut it out so many times, but I don't think there's any way to get her to change now.
Whatever. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. You can't just change people's values so easily. I think the best thing I can do now is ignore what she said.
You're such a great person, Julia. I love how you don't overreact or take things like this too seriously.
Thanks. But, there was actually something else she said that I disliked more than her comments about my education.
Wait, did she say other rude things to you too?
She said that you were the head of our department. Then, she went on to say that since you're the head, you're giving me special treatment and that's the only reason I'm keeping my job there. Now, where could she have gotten that idea? Tell me if I'm wrong, but it's the opposite, isn't it? I'm the head of the department, and you work under me?
Well, yeah. Sorry about that. I was just showing off a little bit.
What's that supposed to mean? You better get explaining.
My mom's always been so proud of me for being a Yale graduate. I couldn't let her find out that you're my boss. I was sure, and still am, that she'd make a big deal about it. That's why I ended up telling her that I was the head of the department and that you worked for me.
Then why don't you fix this misunderstanding for me? I wouldn't want her to continue to think the wrong thing forever. There's also the possibility that she might realize that not everything's about educational background.
I don't think I can do that. I'm sorry, Julia. I just can't do it.
What? Why not?
Telling her my actual job after lying about it all this time would be way too embarrassing. You've got to understand how much that would hurt my pride.
Your pride? What about my pride?
Don't worry, it'll be fine. I'll figure out a way to deal with my mom. So please, just for now, play along and pretend that I'm the head of the department. I'll figure something out to make my mom approve of our marriage.
Hold on a second. You're saying you want me to play along with your lie?
You want to hurry up and get married too, don't you? This is the fastest way for us to do that. So please, just don't say anything for now. I'll handle everything.
Listen to this, Julia. I've got some great news. My second son, Dan, got a job straight out of university, and he got a job offer earlier than his peers.
Congratulations on that. That's wonderful to hear.
It really is wonderful, isn't it? And just so you know, he got a job at the same company as his brother.
That can't be true.
Not only did both of my sons graduate from Yale, now they're both going to work for the same company too. Oh, I sure am blessed with such great sons.
Hold on a second. If you mean the same company as me and Nick, there has to be some kind of mistake.
That's exactly what I mean. What's the problem?
We always decide on new hires right before summer. There's no chance that we would be hiring someone as early as winter, let alone as early as autumn.
Excuse me, are you calling my son stupid? Dan is the brother of the head of human resources, and on top of that, he's currently a student at Yale. I can't believe you think elite students would get hired the same way as ordinary people do.
That doesn't sound right.
Someone like you just wouldn't know. But elite students have their own elite path to getting hired. Something you know nothing about.
I really don't think that's right.
Haha. No, it's right. Now, from spring, both of my sons will be working at the same top-class company. I'll be even more proud than I already am. So having said that, I have a request. I'd appreciate it if you could quit your job before Dan starts there. It's not only about Nick anymore, but Dan too.
Excuse me? Why do I have to do that?
The other day, I asked you to move departments, but I don't think that's going to be enough. What do you think would happen if Dan got put into the department you moved to? I can't stand the thought of someone with such an awful background having seniority over my wonderful son. That's why I need you to just quit working there altogether.
Do you really no idea how arrogant the things you're saying are? Call off your engagement. Stay away from my son. Move departments. Quit your job. You're unbelievable.
Quit it with your complaining, Julia. Nobody asked you. You have no right to talk back to me with an education like yours.
How dare you talk to me like that?
Allow me to repeat myself. We are an elite household. We can't have some commoner like you hanging around us. It's just so unpleasant. So please, run away and be gone. Run back and work on a small business in your hometown, or something more fitting like that.
A commoner? Will you just shut up for a second and listen to yourself? The things you're saying are atrocious. Do you really think you can say whatever you want just because you're an elite family?
Shut up, commoner. Just hurry up and do what I tell you. Hurry up and quit your job and stay away from both of my sons. Our elite family has no room for average people. It's best if we don't see each other ever again. Best to rip the Band-Aid off.
Then stop trying to get jobs based on connections.
What are you talking about?
Okay, I understand. I'll never go near them again. In return, I ask that you and they never come near me again either. In order to do that, I'll start by rescinding Dan's job offer.
Yeah, go ahead and try. What power does a commoner like you have? There's no way you could take back his job offer.
I have the power of the head of human resources. That's me, by the way. I'm the head of the human resources department.
What are you talking about?
Nick might have told you that he's the head of the department, but he was just lying to you so you didn't freak out. In reality, I'm the head of the department, and he's the one who works for me.
I don't believe that for a second.
You can believe whatever you want. But the fact of the matter is that since he works for me, he's just a regular old employee. Nick doesn't have any title or any responsibilities of his own yet.
Excuse me. Wait a second. That can't be true. Stop lying about your status.
Every single word of it is true.
There's no way a Yale graduate would be just a regular employee. And there's absolutely no way someone like you would be head of the department. Nick is far superior to you.
I understand that as a mother, you really want to think that your son is the best of the best. But within the company, at least, I am superior to him. That's why I am the head of the department.
None of this is true.
If you don't want to believe me, then take a look at the company's website. My name should be listed there for you to see.
Ugh, I didn't think it would be, but your name is really there. What exactly is going on here? How could something like this possibly happen to me?
It looks like it's going to take you a little while to cool off. I'll take my leave here. I have to look into the thing about Dan as soon as possible, after all. You can contact me again after you've calmed down if you want.
What do you mean looking into Dan? What exactly do you plan on doing?
Our company doesn't have any kind of special hiring route for elite students like you mentioned. I'm responsible for the final decision for every single candidate.
Wait, really?
Only, I don't remember ever seeing anything about Dan. So I have to do a very thorough investigation and find out exactly how he was hired. Please be aware that pending the results of this investigation, it's possible that his job offer may be retracted.
What? Retracted? You can't seriously be thinking about retracting his offer. He's an elite student from an elite family. You need him.
That's all for now. Have a pleasant day.
Come on, Julia. What did you do that for? I asked you to play along, and you even said that you would. Now my mom knows everything.
Sorry if your mom's mad at you for lying to her for years. I couldn't put up with what she was saying to me anymore. More importantly, Nick, you and I have to talk. What's this I hear about Dan getting an early job offer from our company? I know it was you. Explain to me exactly what happened. Right now we're talking as employee and boss.
What are you talking about? What does Dan have to do with anything?
Don't play dumb with me. Your mom said the elite had their own elite path to getting hired and that Dan had already gotten a job offer from our company. But as far as I know, I'm the head of the department. Nothing like that even exists. I don't ever remember approving Dan's hire either. Actually, I don't think I ever even saw his application. So, tell me what's going on?
Well,
I already looked at the database. I know that someone falsely made the documents for the offer. Do you want me to ask the IT department to conduct an investigation?
hold on a second. You don't have to make such a big deal out of it. I was just doing what my mom told me to do.
Oh, so your mom asked you to do it.
In reality, Dan was having a really hard time finding a job. Even though he wrote that he went to Yale on all of his applications, he didn't even get a single offer. So of course my mom was freaking out about it way more than necessary. That's when she ordered me to give Dan an offer at our company. She said that it would be easy enough for the head of human resources, so I didn't have a choice.
Of course you had a choice. Why would you actually go through with something like this?
But this is all for you, Julia. It's all for our marriage. I thought I should do something nice for my mom now and get on our good side. If I did that, I thought she would eventually approve of our marriage.
Yeah, right. You expect me to believe that? None of this was for me. It was all for yourself. You're the one who dragged me into your lie, so you could look good in front of your mom. You did a bad thing just so you could protect yourself.
Well, I guess that's not completely untrue. But I swear, I really meant to do it for our marriage. I need my mom to approve of us.
I will continue with the investigation of this incident, and I will deal with it as head of the department. Until the investigation is complete. You're not allowed to come to the office.
Come on, you can't be serious. Deal with it as the head of the department? That's absurd. We're engaged, did you forget?
Right now, like I said, we're talking as boss and employee. So, for now, please refrain from coming into the office.
Julia, hear me out. I'm sorry. I'll be the bigger person here and apologize. I'll even approve of your marriage to Nick.
What's gotten into you all of a sudden?
I said I'll approve of your marriage. You should feel honored.
Why the sudden change of heart? I thought you said you didn't want any commoners near your family.
Oh, that. I'd appreciate it if you could just forget I ever said that. I was a little upset, and I let my feelings get the best of me. I don't really feel that way about you, I swear. Actually, I think it's so amazing that you worked so hard and were able to get to be a department head. I really do think you're a good fit for my son, after all.
You don't even sound like the same person.
So please, I'll let you two get married, so you can give Dan his job offer back. He's graduating from Yale, and he's Nick's little brother. Hiring him would be an absolute advantage for your company.
No matter how excellent of a candidate he is, that's unfortunately not an option. Our company does not approve of unofficial hiring routes, so there is nothing I can do about it. As head of the department, I'm afraid I can't let this go.
Come on, don't say things like that. Just please give him the offer back. I even said I'd approve of your marriage, didn't I? Isn't that what you've been wanting from me this entire time? Just an offer is good enough, please. As head of the department, that should be easy for you.
Please, would you just calm down? If you continue on like this, I'll have to report you to my superiors.
What for? I lowered myself to your level, and now you're acting all high and mighty. I've asked you so many times now. One might even say too many times. If you want to marry my son, you're going to have to do something for me in return.
Excuse me, I'll do no such thing.
You want to marry Nick, don't you? If you do, then you have to listen to what I say. First, give my son his job offer back right now. And if you do that, I'll approve of your marriage. Just do it already so we can get past this.
I don't want to marry someone who do something like that and get fired.
Wait, what? What do you mean, fired?
Have you not heard from Nick yet?
No. What are you talking about?
We did an investigation within the company. Dan's job offer was only given because Nick broke the rules. That wasn't the only thing we uncovered in the investigation, though. It seems that Nick has been breaking the rules over and over again.
That can't be true. What could he have possibly done?
We let him sit in on some of the interviews. On the day of the interviews, apparently he went up and talked to a number of the female applicants.
What? Not my Nick. That doesn't sound like him at all.
Out of those girls, 2 of them ended up going to dinner with him. Then, when they rejected his advances, he broke the rules and rejected their applications out of spite. On the other hand, there were also some girls he falsely gave high scores to during the interview.
No, he would never do that.
As head of human resources, I sent that information to my superiors. And then I asked for his dismissal. As of yesterday, Nick no longer works for us.
You really got him fired? My little Yale graduate.
Why would anyone marry a guy like that? Even if you finally approve of our marriage? I think it's a little late now.
Wait just a second. The only thing he did was given to temptation. You can't blame him for that. Look, I don't care about Dan's job offer anymore. Isn't there something you can do about Nick's job? Anything at all? He graduated from Yale. He's been an excellent student his entire life.
Being a good student is certainly an important thing, but you might want to reteach him how to be a good person. That's all I have to say to you. Goodbye, Madeline. Afterwards, Dan paid a visit to my office to apologize for the confusion. He admitted that he wasn't even aware that he had received the job offer initially. I must say, he was quite open and genuine in his communication. The entire office was buzzing with excitement, praising his courage. In light of this, we decided to extend the job offer to him once again. However, Dan surprised us by revealing that his true passion lay in acting. He had only applied for the job due to the immense pressure from his mother's expectations. During the emotional fallout with Nick, Dan found the strength to break free from his mother's influence and pursue his genuine dream. Consequently, he politely declined our job offer. As for Nick, finding a new job proved to be a challenge after his termination due to document falsification and harassment. Consequently, he ended up unemployed. Now, Madeline found herself as the mother of 2 Yale graduates, one aspiring actor and one unemployed individual. It appears that she spends her days at home dealing with the mounting pressure and perhaps experiencing some level of distress.
Listen up, Layla. We're kicking things off bright and early 6 a.m. tomorrow. Don't you dare be late.
All right, Kaylee. I'll be there, no worries. Just a quick question, though. Any idea how long this whole wife training thing is gonna drag on for?
Excuse me? I hope that's not a complaint. I'm doing you a favor.
I get it. And I'm grateful for your intentions. But you're hardly present most of the time. This isn't exactly what I had envisioned when you told me you wanted to guide me in becoming a good wife.
Oh, please. The audacity you have, Layla. Take a good look at yourself. You don't possess any of the basic skills a young woman should have before getting married. Yeah, I get it. You had a tough break losing your parents at a young age. But I can't tolerate my son's wife being so clueless about managing a household properly.
Thanks for your guidance. I'm learning a lot and I appreciate it. The thing is, the wedding is coming up real fast, and I'd like some time to prepare for that too. Maybe I could have the weekends off for myself, if that's all right with you.
Oh, look at you standing up against my wishes. Let me make this crystal clear. If I don't approve of you as Kenneth's wife, this marriage ain't gonna happen. So think twice before crossing me.
We're already married, you know. We submitted the marriage certificate almost a year ago. The only reason that we haven't had the ceremony yet is that we've been swamped with work.
Don't talk back to me. Your marriage certificate means nothing. One word from me and you're divorced. You don't want to divorce Kenneth, do you?
No, I don't want to divorce Kenneth. That's why I've been going to your house every morning.
Oh, naturally, you wouldn't want a divorce. After all, Kenneth has a fabulous job. He's good looking and comes from a prestigious family. He's the perfect catch, isn't he?
Sure, but that's not why I married him. I love him, Kaylee.
Well, clearly that's not cutting it. You're just not up to par for him yet. He needs a capable wife, someone we can proudly introduce to our esteemed social circle without feeling embarrassed. Consider yourself lucky that I'm even bothering to teach you how to run a household. You better show some damn appreciation and put in your absolute best efforts to learn what you're lacking. You know damn well what will happen if you dare defy me, don't you?
Divorce?
Divorce. That's right. You still need to earn the right to be Kenneth's wife. So stop complaining and focus.
Yes, ma'am.
Layla, let me remind you of something. Kenneth is my pride and joy. You should be grateful that I even bothered to take you under my wing and teach you some basic etiquette and homemaking skills. Back in my day, an orphan girl like you would never stand a chance with a man like Kenneth.
I understand, Kaylee. Thank you for teaching me.
Good. I haven't accepted you as Kenneth's wife yet, so I will not tolerate any bad behavior. You will learn the ways of our family, and that's that. I don't want to hear any more negativity from you. Be here at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Kenneth. Sorry to bother you at work. Do you mind? I want to talk to you a bit about your mother.
What's going on, Layla? Did she say something mean to you again?
Kind of. She says if I can't win her approval, she'll force us to get a divorce. She basically threatened me to come to her house and run errands for her or else.
I'm really sorry, Layla. Please, don't pay any mind to what my mother says. She's always been like this, you know. It's just her way of being. Don't let it affect you, alright?
I totally get why it's getting to me, Kenneth. But when will it ever stop? She keeps summoning me to her place every single day, calling it wife training or whatever. But honestly, it's just plain ridiculous. I genuinely want to have a decent relationship with your mother, which is why I've been bending over backwards to act the way she expects me to. Not to mention the wedding is coming up, but I have no time to prepare for it.
I'm sorry, babe. That's on me too. Work has been crazy busy lately, and I know I've left you to handle everything. I apologize for not being there for you.
It's alright, really. I don't mind taking care of the wedding preparations. It's just that I don't find Kaylee's wife training all that helpful, to be honest. She calls me over, gives me a list of chores around the house, and then she's gone most of the time, leaving me alone with your grandmother. Honestly, it feels like she sees me more of a maid or caregiver for her mother, rather than a daughter-in-law.
Wait, you've been taking care of Maya? I had no clue she was making you do all that. Alright, we need to make some changes. We'll create some distance between my family and you. This is just way too much to handle.
Are you sure?
Mother's asking too much of you, Layla. I know what she's like. You must be exhausted from dealing with her every day. She's a demanding woman. I know she is. However, can you just tough it out until the wedding, though? Can you do that for us? We've already set a date, got the venue, and everything is going according to plan. I just want everything to go smoothly for a special day. We don't want my mother causing trouble at the wedding. And you know, if she feels offended in any way, she'll make it known.
That's true. It's okay, Kenneth. I can handle it. Having a time limit really helps.
I suppose the best thing to do is to completely cut ties with her. But you know how my mother is. She won't take rejection lightly. She'll do everything in her power to make our lives miserable.
I can imagine. But wouldn't it be the same after the wedding? She's not going to be happy about us distancing ourselves from her after the wedding either.
Right. But what if we were physically far away? Like overseas? Then there's not much she can do about it.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Hey, listen to this. I've been offered a promotion. My company wants me to lead the office in London. I reckon even mother won't go chasing after us across the pond. Do you think?
That's true. That sounds like it will work. Alright. I'm going to be obedient daughter-in-law until the wedding.
Thanks, Layla. You're amazing. I'll try talking to my mother, see if she'll listen up a bit. But I doubt she'll listen to me.
By the way, what time are you getting home tonight?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to stay at a motel downtown again. This overtime is killing me.
Kenneth, I'm worried about you. You're overworking yourself.
I know. Things will calm down a bit once things get settled at work.
I don't want to complain, but we're newlyweds, you know? I miss my hubby.
I miss you too, honey. I promise I'll come back for the weekend.
Yeah? I'll make all your favorite foods.
Good morning, Layla. What a lovely sunny day we have today. It's perfect for a wedding.
Good morning, Kaylee. It's gorgeous outside and the temperature is perfect too.
You're getting ready now?
Yes, I'm getting my hair and makeup done right now. Are you already done getting ready for the wedding?
Oh, naturally, I'm more than ready. Unlike you, I don't need a cake of makeup on my face to look presentable.
Right.
I suppose you're feeling pretty happy right now. It's the best day of your life.
Yes, I guess you could say that. Kaylee, is there something you want to talk to me about?
Oh, I don't know. I just felt sorry for you. You must be obtuse.
Kaylee, I don't know what you mean.
You haven't noticed, right? You don't know what's going on right in front of you?
What's happening? I don't understand.
I think you're the star of the show today. Everybody is celebrating you being Kenneth's one and only. But you're not. You're actually his number 2. He already has a true love. Did you actually believe that Kenneth loves you? You're so naive.
I'm sorry. What are you saying exactly?
Let me ask you this. How often does Kenneth come home to you since you've been living together? Hasn't he stayed somewhere else most of the time?
Well, yes. But that's normal. Kenneth's very busy at work.
And you don't find that suspicious. You don't find it strange he doesn't come home to his wife.
No, not really. Kenneth was a busy man when I met him. This is nothing new.
So, you don't believe me?
No. I don't think Kenneth is cheating on me.
Well then, why don't you check it out on his Facebook account while you're getting ready? I think you'll find it very interesting. www.facebook.com/LisaXXX_. Think of this as your wedding gift from me. Layla, where are you? What do you think you're doing? Everybody's waiting. Just come back to the wedding hall immediately. You're embarrassing us. Kenneth doesn't know what to do. What are you doing?
No, I'm going back. I don't want anything to do with either of you.
Don't be ridiculous. So you're just going to run away? What are you going to do about the wedding? It's today, Layla.
I don't care. Do you really expect me to marry Kenneth after what you told me? You're the one who told me Kenneth's cheating on me. You even sent me proof. It's my wedding day, Kaylee. What were you thinking, sending me something like that?
Who cares if Kenneth has someone else? You're the one he's marrying. Besides, you remember what I told you before. If you disobey me, I'll make the two of you get a divorce. What are you going to do if Kenneth divorces you? You've got nothing. Nowhere to turn to, no family, no place to live.
I can take care of myself. Thank you. That's not a problem. Goodbye.
Layla, this is beyond absurd. I'm sick of this nonsense. Where the hell are you? What is happening? What do you want? Answer me, damn it. You ruined the perfectly fine wedding and bolted. What on earth is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you, Kenneth?
Oh, look who finally decided to reply to my messages. And now you have the audacity to put the blame on me? Unbelievable. I never thought you would stoop so low, being this irresponsible and inconsiderate. Do you even comprehend the level of embarrassment you've dragged me into? I'm beyond disappointed in you, Layla. You really mess it up big time. Every single one of my friends and family witnessed me being left hanging at the damn altar. I look like an absolute fool. And you completely wasted the time of everyone who bothered to show up for our wedding.
There was no way I could go through with a wedding where the groom was cheating on me. How could I smile in my wedding dress knowing you have someone else?
Cheating? What are you talking about?
I told you, your mother. She's the one that told me about your affair. She even sent me proof. I looked at every post in that Facebook account. I know all about your affair. Lisa, is it? Your lover's name?
Oh, I can't believe her. What was she thinking?
Oh, I get it now. So she spilled the beans behind your back, huh? She had the nerve to message me, asking me not to let you know what she said. As if I would keep that kind of secret from you.
No, Layla, it's not true. They're just lies Mother made up. It's just another one of her mind games. She's been bullying you ever since I introduced you to her. You're really going to believe her over me? It's a misunderstanding, Layla. Please, don't be fooled by my mother's tricks.
A misunderstanding? Really? Do you think I'm stupid or something? You both look so happy in those pictures. You took her on a lot of dates, I see. And all the posts were from days that you didn't come home. I checked.
Pictures can be photoshopped. The internet is full of lies. You know that. I thought you trusted me more than this.
You're still refusing to admit it, huh? Well, what if I showed you solid proof of what you've been up to for the past few days? Would you finally come clean then? Just so you know, I didn't spend all my time wallowing in bed, crying into a tub of ice cream after I left.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I hired a detective to get to the bottom of things. He's been very insightful.
A detective? You've got a detective? Where would you get that kind of money? They're not cheap. You always dress really casual, like you're broke. I've never seen you with any brand name accessories.
That's just because I don't care for those things. I have some savings. I've saved up bit by bit since I was in high school. It's not a fortune, but it was sufficient to hire a detective. You know, I practically grew up fending for myself. I didn't have anyone to rely on for support, so I've always been cautious when it comes to money.
Oh, please, spare me the sob story. Your savings aren't exactly impressive, aren't they? Let's face it, marrying me would have put you in a much better financial position. You know what? If you apologize and beg for a fresh start, maybe I'll consider forgiving you.
I see now you never loved me. You really think I'd crawl back to you after all this? You've got to be kidding. I want a divorce. No, we're getting a divorce. I'm done with you.
Layla, come on. Try to be reasonable.
No, Kenneth. Don't talk to me like I'm the crazy one here. What were you thinking? Why would you marry me if you have a girlfriend? Why didn't you marry Lisa?
That's complicated.
Whatever. It doesn't matter, I guess. We're getting a divorce anyway.
No, wait. I'll tell you everything. So please, hear me out.
Okay, so what the hell is going on?
I love Lisa.
I know, Kenneth.
She's honestly the best thing in my life. I'd love to marry her. I still hope to one day. But you know how my mother is. I can't marry Lisa and have her suffer at the hands of my mother. Lisa's a sweet, sensitive soul. She wouldn't be able to handle it.
So you married me to deal with your mother?
She's been nagging me every single day to get married to someone who can take care of Maya.
So I'm just a caretaker to you.
Not exactly. I mean, you're tough. The way you grew up, I knew you'd be perfect. You can handle my mother. You've worked as a caretaker for years. So you're used to handling dirty and unpleasant jobs. Not to mention you know how to take care for the elderly.
You could have just hired me. Why did you need me to marry you?
I told you because of Mother. She had her mind set on me marrying someone. I was going crazy having her pestering me every day. This was the only way I could protect Lisa.
I'm basically just sacrificed to protect you and Lisa then? What do you think I am? Just a buffer to buy you time until you marry your true love?
I'm sorry. I need to protect Lisa from Mother. When the move to London is finalized, I was going to ask you to divorce me. I can finally marry Lisa. Of course, I plan on giving you a generous financial compensation for your troubles.
How kind of you.
You have no idea what it's like to live with a mother like that. She's controlled every aspect of my life. All my life. It's agonizing being her son.
I feel for you. I wouldn't want Kaylee as my mother, but that's not my problem.
It's been hell living under her thumb all these years. I tried to keep my relationship with Lisa a secret, but she found out about that somehow too.
Uh-huh. Again, I'm not interested. I want that divorce ASAP. I don't want anything to do with you or your crazy mother.
Alright. There's just one thing I want you to do for me. Please, it's important.
What? I don't owe you any favors.
Please don't tell Lisa about us. She doesn't know anything. She has no idea I got married.
Yeah, she seemed really surprised.
What? You told her?
Why wouldn't I? It turns out she's just as much a victim as I was. She was crushed, Kenneth. She told me no wonder you never introduced her to your friends or any of your coworkers. She was crying.
Why would you tell her? What's the point?
You thought you were going to just use me and move on to be with your true love? Life doesn't always go exactly the way you want it, though, does it?
You didn't have to ruin my relationship with Lisa. That's so selfish.
Selfish? You married me as a human sacrifice to your mother to protect your precious girlfriend. You expected me to be a caregiver for your grandmother? And you want to talk about selfishness?
I told you I was planning to compensate you for all of that. I just want my life to be in control for a change. We'll get divorced. Lisa and I will move to London.
Lisa just told me she's never going to see you again. You can move to London by yourself, Kenneth.
No, no! This can't be happening. Tell me, this isn't happening.
That's how I felt when Kaylee told me you were cheating on me. I didn't want to believe it. Whatever issues you have with your mother, you two are very similar. You both control and use people around you for your own needs.
Layla, what have you done? How are you going to fix this? You promised not to tell Kenneth, and I told you about his little girlfriend. How could you?
I never promised anything. You just told me not to tell him.
He hit me, Layla. He went completely berserk and trashed the house. There's glass everywhere. He's never gone against me his entire life. And now he's saying that he wants to cut family ties with me. He says he hates me.
Good for him. He finally stood up for himself.
What are you talking about? He's not a violent person, Layla. You did this. You made him lose his mind. You need to take responsibility for this. You broke him. You fix him.
Me? I don't see how I'm responsible for your son's actions. He's an adult.
You're his wife, Layla. Act like it. You should be by your husband, not off hiding somewhere.
Oh, I'm not his wife. We're getting a divorce.
I'm telling you to cut it out with the divorce talk and come back here and take care of your wifely duties.
Huh? Kaylee, you're not listening. I'm not going to be his wife anymore. You're going to have to find someone else to bully. What do you expect me to do anyway?
Apologize to your husband. Forget about everything and be a good wife to him. That's what it means to be a married woman.
Why do you even want me to stay with Kenneth? You've hated me since you met me.
Fine. I'll be nice. All right. If you come back, I'll accept you as Kenneth's wife. How does that sound?
Thanks, but no thanks. I'm good.
Be smart, Layla. My son is a catch. Do you really think you could do better?
I guess we don't think alike, because I don't see a cheater as a good catch. If you didn't want me to back out of the wedding, why did you tell me about Kenneth's true love to begin with?
That was just, I just thought that I should tell you. I never thought you would actually leave him for it.
What? You thought I would just smile and walk down the aisle, knowing that my husband is in love with someone else?
Yes, you have no family, no one to take care of you. I really didn't think you'd leave. I mean, where would you go?
It sounds like you were hoping to make me cry on the altar. That's the kind of person you are. You wanted me to be devastated and yet trapped, because you thought I need Kenneth. But I've taken care of myself since high school. I don't need to rely on a man to take care of me. I'm getting divorced from Kenneth, and that's final. I don't think we have anything else to discuss, Kaylee.
Then please tell me how to calm down, Kenneth. I've never seen him like this. You need to help me.
I don't think I need to do anything for you. Besides, what do I know about Kenneth? He's lied to me since day one.
Layla, do something.
It's not my problem anymore. I'm sure you can work things out with your son. He's your pride and joy, after all. You must be so happy that he takes after you. You're both self-centered users. I hope you're very happy together. The divorce process went smoothly, and I received a substantial settlement. Throughout it all, Kenneth seemed rather detached, just sitting there lost in his own thoughts while his lawyer did the talking. His ex-girlfriend Lisa completely cut him off and refused to engage with him. She's moved away and made it clear she wants nothing to do with him. Considering she had no knowledge of his double life, I see her as much of a victim as I am. It's heartbreaking how she, like me, trusted Kenneth. I can't comprehend the logic behind marrying someone else while claiming to care so deeply for your girlfriend. Kenneth's thought process remains a mystery to me. Since the divorce, he's been taking out his pent-up frustration at home, resorting to violent outbursts and even raising his hand against his own mother. He's neglected his well-being and work, putting his job at risk. His lawyer believes he's seriously depressed. Honestly, it could have been avoided if he had just cut ties with his mother as he mentioned, instead of marrying someone he didn't love. But I suppose he couldn't bring himself to stand up to her after years of her micromanaging and controlling his life. However, even with that understanding, I can't summon any sympathy for Kenneth. The years of suppressed anger and animosity are now surfacing in violent episodes directed at Kaylee. As far as I'm concerned, she can deal with the monster she helped create. I endured some truly awful experiences, and for a while, I felt really down. But I managed to get back on track. My former boss, upon hearing about my divorce, asked me to return to work for her, which I gladly accepted. I'm back at my old job, enjoying my free time just like before. For now, I'm going to focus on myself. Clearly, I'm not the best judge of character when it comes to men, but they say time heals all wounds. I'll stay positive and believe that happiness will find its way to me in due time.